You are going to see a program called Solutions to an Inconvenient Truth. An inconvenient truth, as we all know, is the issue of global warming, very serious issue. But this program is not about the problem, it's about solutions. And I'm Judi Friedman, chairperson of PACE, People's Action for Clean Energy. We're the largest clean energy group in the state of Connecticut, an all-volunteer group, and we work to educate people about renewable energy, solar, wind, small hydro, and we are very interested in energy efficiency. These light bulbs, these wonderful light bulbs, are an example of using energy efficient light bulbs and appliances, saving energy and conservation, and we're very opposed to nuclear power and nuclear weapons. We feel that nuclear power is not only dangerous from the point of view of terrorism, but also we're very worried about aging machinery and an accident, a meltdown. We're worried about the waste and the ongoing releases from nuclear power plants. But many years ago, someone said to us, you can't just be against something, you have to be for something, and that's true. And today we have a wonderful guest with us, a wonderful architect from Westport, Connecticut, who has a passion. His name is John Rountree, and he is passionate about solar energy. John, what got you interested in solar energy?
Judy, it probably goes back to my years in college when I was at Syracuse University. I had a couple of professors then, this was in the late 70s and early 80s, that were very involved with solar, instructing, teaching kids about it. And I ended up in a course on solar technologies there. And I was just drawn to the power of the sun, the fact that you could actually heat a building and power a building just using the sun fascinated me.
And that's an answer to global warming, using the sun's energy, because global warming is made from burning fossil fuels, and of course nuclear power also uses, global warming is a problem because the entire nuclear fuel cycle involves carbon dioxide, the mining and milling of uranium. So you're interested in solar energy, and this is a wonderful solution. And John, you have taken an older home in Westport, and you have changed that house in wonderful ways. Can you tell us some of the things you've done to your home?
Sure. We live in a 1910 farmhouse.
1910.
And it's built on Campo Road in Westport, and it was in need of upgrading for sure. And so my notion from the beginning buying this house was to renovate it and to do it in a way that was green, that would use recycled materials.
So what recycled materials did you use?
We used an insulation product that had recycled content in it.
Blue jeans? Blue jeans?
Yes, yeah? That's right. That's right. We use cotton insulation made out of blue jeans. That's correct.
They're been processed somehow. They're
correct.
Not just
no,
blue jeans.
No. Things like that. We used tiles that were recycled from glass.
Wonderful.
We used bamboo flooring everywhere, which is considered a sustainable material because it grows very quickly.
Wonderful.
And it's very hard.
Attractive too.
It's very attractive. Yes. And mostly, it was, really focusing on the energy use of the house and the energy efficiency of the house. So we used a very high insulation, a high level of insulation.
What kind of insulation?
Right, it's a soy-based spray-in foam insulation. Soy-based, correct.
Spray-in foam.
Foam, right. Which has a R value of 3.8, which is very high per inch. And we use that everywhere. And we used Energy Star appliances. We used
Energy Star appliances. Wonderful. Like what?
A refrigerator, of course. Our washer and dryer, Energy Star. Dishwasher. We used a Swedish dishwasher, low energy.
An ASCO dishwasher.
An ASCO, yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful.
And
change your light bulbs.
Right. We changed the light bulbs, all compact fluorescents. And I'm actually looking into LED lighting.
Well, that's a good idea. Can you tell people what LED lighting is?
Boy, low emitting diodes, I believe it is. And it's used, you see a lot of them in cars use LEDs, and some appliances use LEDs, but they're just starting to make light bulbs with LED fixtures. And the beauty of them is they use 5 watts. A 5-watt LED bulb gives off the same amount of light as a 60-watt incandescent bulb.
Wow, and I think they don't have mercury in them, do they? I don't think so. Whereas
no, they don't. That's correct.
These compact fluorescent bulbs do have mercury. They should go into hazardous waste when their life is over. But if you continue with incandescent bulbs, the power plants give off more mercury. So you're better off using these bulbs, but the LEDs are the answer.
That's
wonderful. Yeah. You're looking into them.
Looking at, yeah.
And what else did you do to your home?
Well, the biggest thing about the home is the use of solar energy in the form of photovoltaics, solar electricity, and solar thermal. And what we're doing is we are using a system from Germany, from a company called Schuko. And what they've done is
Schuko. Can you spell that?
SCHUCO. They actually have an office in Wethersfield, not too far from here, and they're starting to build up their U.S. operations. But what they've done is they've developed a product which combines solar photovoltaic panels with solar thermal panels.
So solar photovoltaic means solar electricity.
Right.
With solar heating?
Solar hot water heating.
Solar hot water heating.
Correct.
So the panel has both the electricity and the hot water heating.
Right. Well, they're 2 separate panels, but they're exactly the same size, and they're built into the roof, so they're fully integrated into the roof.
Wonderful.
And they're just it's a very elegant solution that combines the 2 technologies into one in a way that is architecturally just brilliant.
Sounds like a good company to buy stock in.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, that's great.
So that's part of it. And then the other part we're doing is we're taking the air that circulates under the panels and we're collecting that and using that in the house to help in the heating season, because air circulating under the panels gets heated, and then that air gets taken into a duct under the ridge of the roof and then circulated through the house.
I want to congratulate you.
That's
taking 1910 house and making it more than modern. I mean, this is really, really exciting. Wonderful.
It's a dream. It's certainly true.
And can you tell our viewers what happened when the lights went off in all of Westport?
Right.
What happened on your street with your house?
Right. Well, we have a battery backup system with our solar system, and what that allows you to do is to run power when the utility lines go down. And so in August, whenever that was, in August, we lost power for about 12 hours, and we didn't lose power. In other words, everyone around us lost power, but we had power through that.
So your house was a shining example of solar energy working when the whole system shut down.
It was great.
Now, John, you have some wonderful things to show us today. Can you tell us, they're different, these are solar electric?
Right, these are all, everything I have here is solar electric or photovoltaic panels. And they are different sizes, different shapes, and you can be used in different applications. What we have right here is a solar, a sun power module. This is a company from California called Sun Power, and this has the highest conversion efficiency of any panels on the market right now.
What does that mean, conversion of efficiency?
Conversion efficiency means how much of the energy in the sun is converted into electricity. Okay, so in the case of most solar panels, range anywhere from 6% to 18%. This has 22% conversion efficiency.
Wow.
It's by far the highest. And
so this would be mounted on your roof?
Correct.
Or could you do a ground mount also?
You can ground mount solar panels if you have a house with a lot of trees and you don't want to cut trees down, but you have property. You can do a ground mounted system, which and then you run the power underground to your house, or you can now use solar panels that are integrated into the roof.
Wow.
And I have a few samples. This is one.
Now this would be flat on the roof?
This is the roof.
These
are solar panels that are the roof. So in this case, this is a product called Slate. It's from Atlantis Energy, and it's a Swiss company, and they've developed a solar panel that integrates into the roof and becomes the roof.
So this part doesn't show.
No,
right?
That's correct. That's right.
Only this part
This is the only part that
shows.
shows. These get
And then
stacked
there's
together.
another one next to it?
Correct.
Uh-huh.
Side by side, and then they overlap, so it's completely waterproof.
Wonderful. So can you use that instead of, if you were building a new house?
Correct.
This could be your roofing,
That's
your roof.
Right. And
Actual
so,
roof.
obviously, and you get a credit because you're displacing roofing material that would otherwise be.
So you don't have to pay for roofing material.
Right.
And you will get clean energy, free clean energy, and you will get a federal tax credit also?
Right. Right now, the federal government has a 30% tax credit for solar installations that caps at $2,000. If you're in Connecticut, you have the access to the Connecticut Clean Energy Fund, which has rebates, actually cash rebates, that go up to 50 to 60% of the cost of the systems. And that's the Connecticut Clean Energy Fund, and that is monies that are taken out of ratepayers, a small surcharge on all Connecticut ratepayers, and it goes into a fund which is a very generous rebate program, one of the most in the country.
We're very proud of Connecticut and its leadership in this area. Very exciting. Wonderful. Of course, my favorite, I like that, but my favorite is the floppy shingle.
The shingles, yeah.
I think it looks like a shingle that we are used to, really. And so this,
This
love this. This goes up on the roof, and then the next layer goes over it, and then the next layer goes. So
That's
it's
right.
like asphalt shingle.
It looks like an asphalt shingle. That's right. This is called a unisolar.
And these are actual solar panels.
They are. That's correct.
And then on the underside.
This is where the power comes out, and this gets drilled through a hole in the roof, and it gets wired together with other panels, and then gets brought down to an inverter, which converts that power into alternating current. All solar panels produce direct current electricity, and that has to be conditioned to alternating current to be used in a building.
This is wonderful. So you could put these on top of your present roof.
You could, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Wonderful.
Or if you're putting on a new roof, you could put them in place of asphalt shingles.
Asphalt shingles. And then you have another.
And the other sample is a product, same company, same product, but it's used in a standing seam metal roof. And this is an example of that. The panel is about 18 feet long. I don't have a full panel, but I have a section of it. It's the same flexible membrane, and it rolls out. It will roll out on an existing standing seam metal roof, and it's sort of a peel and stick solar panel with a junction box at the top.
I've seen this, and what amazing! We had a house on a PACE tour with it had the metal roof, and then in the dormer above it had this, and you could not see the difference. The
Right.
whole roof looked the same. It was very beautiful.
Right.
The house was
Right.
white stucco with this roof. It was just beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's totally hidden.
Wonderful. So that's integrated. So instead of having panels on the roof, it's integrated in the roof, or is the roof itself.
That's right. That's correct.
Very exciting.
And,
John, I love the fact that your work is your passion, your passion is your work, and you're doing such wonderful work. Can you tell us about what the wonderful thing that the community of Westport has done?
Sure. My company, Westport Solar Consultants, was hired by the town of Westport to analyze the buildings and the municipal buildings, to actually go out and survey the buildings in the town and determine which buildings were best suited for a solar electric system. And we ended up determining that the firehouse, the Westport Firehouse, was the best site for a solar system. It had great visibility because it was right on the post road.
Oh, right,
And,
on the post road, so everyone could see the solar panels.
And I don't know if you can see this. I have
Wonderful.
If you can see this picture.
Right here.
But yeah, this is this is actually a photo rendering of the system, and this is what you see from the road. There's a row of solar panels along the road, and then on the roof, behind that, there's a much larger solar array on the flat roof section. And
so it can go either at an angle, or you can have use them in a flat roof.
Correct, correct. And so this system was installed about a week ago, finished, completed, and commissioned. These are some pictures of the installation. We just had a big ribbon cutting ceremony. The Clean Energy Fund was there. The First Selectman, Smart Power, all the people that were involved with the installation were there, and SolarWorks, who did the installation, did a very nice job. But it's very exciting because, Judi, I think a lot of other towns are looking at this project and thinking about doing things on their own buildings. And really, any building that has a large flat roof and uses power is an excellent site for solar panels.
That's right. Any of those big boxes we see,
yep.
If you go toward Bradley Field and you see International Drive there, putting Pitney Bowes, all sorts of big companies have huge big box, flat roof, and they could have solar systems on them generating.
Right.
In parking lots, so you could have
Sure.
them on parking lots, so the cars would be cool underneath, and the parking lot would generate energy. It was
Sure.
a great idea. So you can have them panels on the roof. You can have a roof like asphalt shingles of solar, or you can have a flat roof on a company or a warehouse, or you could have them on a parking lot. Or I think in Switzerland they even have them on median strips in some cases.
That's right, on the sound barriers on the highways.
Is Europe
Sure.
doing more with solar energy than our country?
They are. Well, certain countries. Germany is by far the leading country in the world right now in developing or integrating solar into buildings. And they have a very, very generous subsidy for people to put solar on. Basically pay you a production, they give you cash for the amount of power that you produce.
They give you cash?
Yeah, I think it's, I just heard 52 cents a kilowatt hour. Really, they pay you for the power that you produce.
Wonderful.
So
because the home then becomes a generating
power
plant,
right.
which is cheaper than building
Right.
a nuke plant
That's
or
right.
a coal
Right,
plant.
and it makes sense to generate power where you're using it because the transmission of power over power lines is very inefficient. The transmission lines, you lose about 60% of the power just through the transmission of power over utility lines.
And it makes us very vulnerable to breakdown
Correct.
and to terrorism.
That's true.
These centralized systems and the decentralized use of energy is wonderful. As
Right.
this little house shows, these are panels on this little house, which are like John's here. This is solar hot water panel, but
Right.
with the Schuko panels, you could
The whole
have
roof,
the whole
yeah, that's
roof
right.
would be that way.
That's right.
Wonderful. Have you done some other projects that you'd like to tell viewers about that involve solar energy that are of special interest?
Well, we're about to put a bid out on a big project in Greenwich, Connecticut, the Greenwich Academy School, and it's a girls' private school, and we designed a 28 kilowatt system for that building.
Wonderful.
And they're very, it's interesting. Schools are very excited about this because of the educational value. They really see the benefit of putting solar systems in, not just for the money they're going to save, but for the fact that they're really, educating their students. And there's some very interesting.
Students can monitor the energy too.
Absolutely.
That's kind of fun. Today we saved a lot of money, or today we didn't get very much power, or perhaps they would say, maybe we should cut back on the power we're using in the school because the sun isn't as bright today. They become more conscious of what in the school uses power.
Right through. It's funny, I just did a presentation at our school in Westport, and this girl came up to me and she did an audit of the whole school to determine where they're wasting energy.
Wow.
Yeah, she took that on herself.
What year student was she?
I think she was a sophomore.
Wonderful. She did an audit of the whole school.
Yeah,
what did she find?
She found that it wasted a lot of energy. I don't know specifics, but she was very excited about what she found, which wasn't necessarily great. But
these programmable thermostats, programmable lighting are very helpful. I know that in some schools whose names I will not mention. I've gone in the summer, and there's been air conditioning on in certain areas, and no one is there. Lights on, and no one is there. So we need to learn to conserve energy.
That's right.
Very, very much. Before you recommend a solar system, do you recommend people lower their demand for energy?
Absolutely. I always say, solar electricity is sort of the icing on the cake, if you will. To put solar panels on a very energy inefficient building just doesn't make sense. It makes much more sense to increase the insulation value, improve your heating or cooling system efficiencies. Do things like that first. That's money better spent than solar. And then after you've done all that, putting solar panels on makes sense. But,
wonderful. And is there a building in New York that's a very unusual building that you know about that's very energy efficient, has solar on it? I have forgotten what it was, but I've read about it.
Well, there's an apartment building in Battery Park called the Solaire Building.
Yes.
And it's the first LEED certified.
LEED? Can you tell viewers what LEED is?
LEED is a program that is from the Green Building Council, American Green Building Council, and it is a rating system for buildings that rates them in terms of their energy efficiency and their use of recycled materials and all the things that make a building green. And they certify them at different levels, and it's totally voluntary program right now. And this building was the first LEED certified apartment building in the country, I believe.
Yeah.
Right. And it was designed by a Connecticut architect too, Caesar Pelli.
Wow.
Designed it.
Wow.
And it has solar panels in the curtain wall, the facade of the building.
The curtain wall means the side of the building?
Correct, on the vertical surface.
Because solar panels don't need to be on the roof.
No,
they could be on the side of the building.
That's right. Any building skin can be.
And it's very beautiful the way they've integrated the solar curtain, isn't it?
It is.
Nice looking.
It's absolutely, yeah.
What else about that building makes it such an impressive building?
Yeah, I don't know specific. I know that they harvest rainwater for gray water applications.
Wonderful. Now, okay, so you take, even in New York City, you're going to harvest rainwater, and you're going to use it for gray water. Can you tell people what gray water is?
Well, actually, let me back up a minute. Gray water, what I was thinking of was gray water recycling, where you take water from like sinks and showers, and you filter it and then use that in toilets and things where you don't need fresh potable water. It's a great way to.
It's kind of silly that we use fresh groundwater sometimes for flushing our
toilets.
toilets.
Yeah, it
that
is.
doesn't make any sense.
That's true.
Yeah. So they use this. They recycle the water from the showers and sinks, and then they can be used for things that don't need the potable drinking water.
That's right.
Wonderful.
And then I think they have a green roof, which is sod on the roof.
Yes, this little house has a green roof on this carport,
right? So
that it keeps the carport cool. And if you have a green roof, what's on the green roof if you have a green roof?
I guess grass.
I think they put sedum on too, don't they? I think so.
Yeah, but it keeps the building cool. It obviously takes rainwater and filters it as it goes through it.
Wonderful.
So those are great.
Wonderful. This house also has another feature, and that is a driveway that's not paved, so that the rainwater can go through and go into the ground and not have all this runoff that we have.
Sure.
And also the little house inside is a bamboo floor like yours too.
Oh, does it?
So that's fun.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great thing that you're doing, and I think the solutions to global warming not only involve stopping global warming, but they also involve better health. And I think the solar initiatives that you are doing means that you're helping clean up the air we breathe. And I think that has there's some moral side to this too. I believe that the work you're doing is because it's helping others, because it's helping people's health, even their mental states, because when you live with light, I think it helps your mental state. Do you think so?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, daylighting is critical, especially in schools. They've actually done a lot of research that natural daylight creates better functioning kids, better
and more
performance.
productive workplaces.
That's true.
I think too.
That's right.
So I really compliment you on the fact that you are doing what I would say very moral work, incorporating with your job.
That's right.
It's very exciting, and you're making a difference in our community. And I believe you're on the board of Solar Connecticut, are you not?
Yeah, absolutely. Solar Connecticut is a great organization, and it's made up mostly of people in the industry, in the solar industry, but their primary goal is to educate the public about the solar technology. So one thing I would leave you with is to go to solarconnecticut.org and look at what's going on. It has a lot of information, where to go to find more information. It has great links, and of course links to the Connecticut Clean Energy Fund, which everyone should know about.
That and signing up for the green power option too.
Right, that's right.
That's another, everyone should be signing up for the green power option through CLNP or UI. And if we go to, with the Clean Energy Fund, support that, support green power, lower your demand, try to live carefully on this earth, use these wonderful products.
Yep.
I think we can find some of the solutions to an inconvenient truth.
I do too.
So I thank you so much for
and
all
I thank you,
work.
Judi, for all the work you've done over the years with PACE. It's really inspirational to me.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
We're all a team.
We're a team, that's right.
That's great. So lovely. So thank you.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.